What is going on? We are officially live. Cheers! This is the first day of spring, and they're talking about we're supposed to get 12 to 16 inches of snow here. It was a mild winter, and all of a sudden spring came, and it's snowstorms every single week. So I know you have to wait a couple minutes for anybody to realize that you're live, and it is kind of late. And it's a weekday, but I have no work tomorrow. Everything is going to be closed tomorrow, apparently. They've already, what's going on, Daniel Varney? How are you? Yeah, they've already announced, like, all the schools are closed. Like, a lot of the jobs are closed because it's going to be a state of emergency. And it was a week and a half ago, I guess. Maybe 2 weeks, I'm not sure. But we had a ton of snow then. And I think everybody was fooled. They canceled everything. And it seemed like nothing was going to happen, and then all of a sudden it was a snowpocalypse. And I remember I ended up shoveling. My roommate and I ended up shoveling like 5 driveways, including like some elderly people and some ladies in the neighborhood. And I was so worn out from that. I needed like the whole next day to recuperate. But the last lady that we shoveled that time, the last big snowstorm, ended up giving us some beer, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, they're talking about 12 to 16 inches of snow starting soon and going for like the full day. What's going on, Daniel B? DJ Donnelly, why are we not friends on Facebook? Is it something personal? No, I just don't know you very well. I don't really add anybody to my personal Facebook unless we've been talking on here for a good long period. I get a lot of friend requests from people on Facebook, and if I don't know you very well, if we haven't talked a lot, then I'm not going to add you because I have a lot of personal stuff. But yeah, we can continue to talk. Oh, don't retract the message. It's all right. I don't have anything against you. But if you want to talk to me, get to know me, then I'd feel more comfortable adding you to my personal Facebook. But yeah, nothing against you. Just talk to me more then. Daniel B, what's going on? Thanks. Love right back to you, buddy. You're getting 6 to 12 in Connecticut. I would have thought you guys would have gotten more, but we're getting 12 to 16 is what they're calling for us right now. A band apart. Cheers to no work. I don't work tomorrow either. Nice. Crown and Sevens. That's what's up. I haven't had Crown in a while, but I do love some Crown. I used to like I think it was like a maple one. I can never find that one though, but that was super good. Stanley James, what's going on? I haven't done one of these live streams in a while, and it's so funny. I would always say that I wish that the comments that are going on during the live stream would continue and be allowed on the video after it's posted, because all before, when all these comments that are being posted right now, they would disappear after the video went live to YouTube. Like after it was the live feed ends, then it gets posted to YouTube, all those comments would disappear. So it's like, I always thought that was weird, but now apparently the comments are going to be allowed. So after this video stops going live and gets posted to YouTube, all the comments will show up. So I think that's friggin' awesome. Jeremy, they're calling for snow tonight. Yes, absolutely. So I have off. I'm going to sip on a beer, and I'm debating about what I should watch tonight. I'm finishing a movie after this live stream, which I think only has like a half an hour left, but I'm thinking about starting 13 Reasons. I ended up getting the DVD copy for that. I wish I would have had a Blu-ray copy, but it's DVD only. I've heard great things about 13 Reasons. And then I'm debating about binging that, or either binging season 2 of Jessica Jones, which I love season 1 of Jessica Jones. Scrolling through the comments again. 41 Ronan, what's up? Yeah, it's actually been a while since I've done a live stream. New place? Nope, I'm just downstairs. Actually, if you watched I posted a giveaway today, and I was in the same spot. It's just dark right there. I'm in the kitchen, but I had the light on in the back right there in the living room kind of area. Actually, it's not really the living room. I don't know what area you would call that. A dining area. There you go. Bachelor padding it up. So, but yeah, this was the same shot that I posted for the video for the basically just a subscriber giveaway for a Blu-ray copy of Pitch Perfect 3. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out. I partner with Universal. They'll be shipping it out, so no P.O. boxes and U.S. residents only. Sorry about that, but I still think it's pretty cool to have that opportunity to give back. So if you haven't checked that out, check that video out. What's up, movie music man 75 Brian? Watch Event Horizon. I know you said you watched it already, but watch it again. I know that was one of the things you were talking about. Spencer Sinclair, I'm a new father, so my movie watching has shrunk, but your videos have done the trick. Congratulations on being a new father. Cheers to you. I think that's amazing. So yeah, maybe you can watch some kid-friendly stuff. There's some good ones. Was it not My Two Dads? It was Three Guys and a Baby. That was funny. Look Who's Talking 1 and 2 were both pretty entertaining. Jeremy Kettle, you live in Baltimore. Snow's coming, yeah. Love your videos. Thank you. I appreciate that, Dawn. Have you watched Rick and Morty? I have watched Rick and Morty. I don't think I'm as crazy about it as everybody else seems to be. I know they had the McDonald's Szechuan chicken sauce with the Rick and Morty, and there was like lines down the street. People were like rioting, and people were, because they sold out of them, I guess, and then people were selling them on eBay, and people were actually buying them for $300 for a little tiny sauce container because I had a picture of Rick and Morty, which blows my mind. But I think it's a funny show. I just don't think it's that great. I've watched a few episodes here and there. But maybe I've just not seen I don't think I saw the Pickle Rick one that people go crazy about. Thank you. I appreciate that, Dawn. Jessica Jones Season 2. Oh, I love the first season. I was actually surprised that I liked it. I actually put off watching it for a long time because I just wasn't sure about it. But I wasn't too big on that actress either, but she blew me away in that role. Holy moly. Logan G, you retracted your message. I didn't see it. Post it again, please. Logan G, I always appreciate when you comment because you actually leave in-depth comments and you talk about, what I say in the video, and when I ask people what's your favorite of this, the favorite of that, you answer, and I appreciate that. I love that interaction. DVD Jam, what's up? Night of the Demons first. All right, that's cool. Are you gonna see Ready Player One? I'm probably gonna wait on that one, honestly. I'll check it out, but it's not going to be like a first weekend kind of opening night thing for me. It's Steven Spielberg. It's going to be an ode to a lot of things, retro, but kind of futuristic as well. It didn't really jump out to me for the trailer, but Dawn of the Dead 1978 is my favorite movie. Is it your favorite movie? No. I love it, but it's not my favorite. My all-time favorite movie, which I think I've talked about just to an endless degree, is John Carpenter's The Thing. Again, I love the snowy setting movies, especially horror movies, and that sense of isolation, paranoia the Antarctica Research Station has in spades for the snowy setting. Dean Cunningham's cinematography, Rob Bottin's practical effects, and Ennio Morricone's score, John Carpenter's directing. The whole cast is just amazing to me. I think the practical effects still hold up today. I think they're better than the CG effects by far. I've seen so many movies where I was enjoying the movie and then the CG effects just kind of ruin it for me. The next Halloween one, I'm staying optimistic on it, so we'll see. Logan G, I like your videos, my favorite movie review haul. Thank you, I appreciate that. I have not seen The Barn, but I've heard good things about it. Kind of like a retro, is it an anthology one? I know on the cover they have like the different people. There's like a witch thing and like another like creature looking thing on there. It looks interesting, but I've kind of held off on it because I've seen so many like low budget indie horror movies that people have talked positively about, and then I just ended up hating them. So I'm holding off on it for right now, but I do plan to check it out. I did watch a movie called Demon House the other night. I got an advanced screener for it, and it's from the guy that does the Ghost Adventures show on the Travel Channel. That guy is friggin' terrible. He sounded like an emotional robot, and that movie was hot garbage. That's basically my short review. I give it a 0 out of 10, unwatchable. Again, I'm not a fan of those kinds of paranormal investigation shows because they all end the same friggin' way. They're in the van or truck or whatever vehicle, and they're all like, well, there was definitely something there. I felt this. I heard this. We didn't get anything on camera. Maybe next time. I'm like, how do you keep watching that for 12 seasons where it's the same freaking thing? I don't get it. I don't get the appeal of it, and that's basically what that movie was, Demon House. And I'm going to post a review for that probably in a week. I want to do more editing on my phone just because it's easier, but there's no way that I know of for, I have iPhone, but for the the iMovie on there. I don't know how to put like a picture in on the phone. I don't think that option is available of the iPhone 7. But I would do way more reviews if that was possible, though. Daniel Varney, actually got to get going. Well, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Take care. I know it's late, especially there's a lot of people that usually tune in from the UK and stuff, and all over the place, which I think is super cool. Portugal, UK, Ireland, Scotland, all that area over there. I think it's cool when people view from everywhere. I think it's awesome to have that kind of interaction. It's a cool platform for that. Have a wonderful night for you too. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, I've been on here for a while. I've been making videos. There's only like people that are actively still making videos. I think the only people are Cool Duder and Wet Movie 1 that have been doing it longer than I have on here. There's been times where I've been inconsistent. I've taken breaks for a while, periods where I moved a few times, and I didn't really upload much. But I definitely want to get back in the swing of things. I made a couple videos which I have to edit, and that kind of motivated me. I felt a sense of an accomplishment getting back into it, kind of. But I want to do more reviews. That's what I really want to get focused on, but I just hate editing. So yeah, I want to do, if I could edit on my phone by putting like a picture, an image into the video, then I would make so many more. Hey, what is up, Pedro X? What's going on? It's always cool to see you on here, man. Daniel B, thank you. Right back at you. I'll make sure to stay away from Demon House. Yeah, no, that movie was one of the worst movies I've seen ever. And I can't believe that show has been on for 12 seasons, too, the Ghost Adventurers. But I know the director for Cemetery and a few other, he was like a low-budget, I can't remember his name right now, Adam something, I can't remember. But he was in there as a camera guy who gets affected by the supernatural forces or demonic forces in there. I'm just like, ugh. But I recognize that guy. I'm tuning in from a boring place called Missouri. That's all right, man. I lived in Kansas City for a while when I was younger. Maxa Jackson, what's up? Wish Upon was another terrible movie that came out recently. Yeah, I didn't see that one myself. Thank you, Harris Jack. Although I found it very fun. I still want to see Happy Death Day. Basically looks like Groundhog Day, but with a slasher aspect. I need to check that out soon. I recommend the game show Hellevator. I've never even heard of that. I'm on episode 3, but it's like the Soska Sisters. But even if you don't I like the Soska Sisters. I don't necessarily like all their films. I love American Mary. I was disappointed in See No Evil 2, and then there was another one that they did that I didn't really love. They did, was a dead hooker in a trunk too, but there's something else they did that I wasn't really a big fan of, but I loved American Mary. I love that they give back to their fans. They really appreciate the fans. They do conventions, they sign for free, take photos for free. And I think that's awesome. I think they're talented, but I want a little bit more from them, but American Mary is my favorite by far. Just scrolling through. I know I missed some comments before this, so have you seen the Bud Light Orange in your area? No, but I think you might have posted on it. I always see you. You always get the beers before we do over here. But I haven't seen it in my area, but somebody just told me about another one that I might do a review for. It's the hard lemon lime Henry's one. They have a bunch of different flavors, and those ones, they're all right for what they are, but I haven't seen the Bud Light Orange. I'll probably try it. I'm not a big Bud Light fan. That used to be the go-to one in college, but now I feel like there's no excuse to not to have good beer with all the different craft breweries out there. Billy Ray, what's going with the snow? We're getting beat again. Where are you from, Billy Ray? Yeah, we're supposed to get 12 to 16 inches. I'm like, holy moly. Again? Howdy. Yes, I love Trick or Treat. I talked about Trick or Treat years ago. I put it in my top 10 underrated horror movies on Blu-ray. I think that video was like 5 years ago now, and I don't consider it underrated anymore. I want to do another top 10, top 20 underrated horror movies on Blu-ray list, because usually when I see movies that people consider underrated, I'm blown away. Like, they usually name the most popular horror movies in existence, and I'm like, how do you think that's underrated? If you consider Suspiria, Candyman, like all these different, like some of the most popular ones ever, I just don't understand it. Those are not under Sleepaway Camp. I remember I asked for a horror pack giveaway thing that I did a while back. I was asking people what they thought underrated slasher movies or underrated horror, and people were saying The Original Maniac and Sleepaway Camp. I was like, those are two of the most popular horror movies, I think. Yo, Nintendo 2009. But yeah, expect that video in the near future, a top 10 underrated horror movies on Blu-ray, because there's a bunch of ones out there that I think people need to check out. Caleb, what's going on, man? Indiana. I was finally able to watch Possession 1981 and Zombie 2. Yeah, I think both of those are pretty well known. Zombie 2 especially. Yeah, the Possession was, I can't remember that director's name, but it has a really sweet edition, like a really thick edition that goes for like crazy loot. Yes, Sleepaway Camp is definitely awesome. Speaking of John Carpenter, I was lucky to see him perform. Yeah, that's amazing. I love his the musical performances. He's doing a lot more of that kind of stuff where he's doing signings. And I still want to get my John Carpenter poster signed by him too. No, Nightmare on Elm Street is not underrated in the slice. I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not, Hazardous Life, but that is probably one of the most popular horror movies ever. Possession has a really cool Mondo release. Maybe that's the release I'm thinking of then, where it's got it goes for a decent amount of money. I have a couple John Carpenter autographs, but I don't have them on the poster that I want. I have the Thing poster upstairs, where I have a couple autographs on, but I don't have his one on there. I need that. Have you seen Rear Window? Yes, it's actually one of my all-time favorite movies. I saw it in film class like forever ago, and it instantly kind of changed the way that I viewed films. That class, the teacher was such like a kind of a hippie, weird dude, but he introduced us to some really great films, and that was one of the ones. Like, he introduced us to Psycho, Rear Window. We watched Blue Velvet. We watched a few different films that kind of changed my perspective of films. And okay, good, Hazardous Life. I wasn't sure. Like I said, I've seen some of these videos where people talk about underrated horror movies, and they essentially list some of the most well-known, popular, famous horror movies ever, and it blows me away, and I just don't get it. And some of these people seem pretty, well-versed in horror, so when I hear them say that, it's kind of shocking to me. I think Suspiria is like one of the most popular international horror movies ever in history. I have The Ruins. I think The Ruins is underrated. I would put that on my underrated horror movie list. Yeah, Rear Window for a while was in my top 10. It still might be. I have to, my list changes periodically, but usually my top 5 hasn't changed in years, so. And yeah, I would definitely recommend, for me, The House is a fun one though. I like that one. I have the Arrow Video 1 and 2 one. The UK got all 4. I wish we had that, but I heard 3 and I haven't seen 3 and 4, but I heard those ones aren't very good. I know I missed some comments. I feel like a jerk because I'm getting kind of like caught up in here. I haven't done one of these live streams in a while, but I love it. 26 people in here. That's friggin' awesome. Pedrex, have you seen the movie The Show? This Is Your Death? No, I haven't. Josh Duhamel starred in it. I'm not familiar with that. I'm happy now that these comments stay on the video after they get posted to YouTube. Once the live video stops and it gets posted, it used to be that the comments didn't show up. That happened in the live stream. Now they do. So I can actually, people recommending me stuff, I can friggin' see it now. So that's awesome. So I will check that out. Thank you for that recommendation. Legion, I know a lot of people hated Legion. I liked Legion. I liked it a lot. Some of these religious horror movies, I appreciate those even Book of Eli. I like Book of Eli a lot. Even though there's certain aspects that are kind of, when you look back at it, it's like, nah. But I still like it overall. Legion I enjoyed. But religious horror theme stuff, I enjoy. Like Red State with the horror cult kind of, religious cult kind of stuff, religious fanaticism. Some of my favorite horror movies are The Stuff. I love The Stuff. I always wanted to eat the stuff, even though that's clearly, what you're not supposed to do when you watch that movie. Night of the Creeps, it's a classic for sure. I like Fred Decker a lot. Monster Squad. Reanimator, Friday the 13th, Final Chapter, Videodrome, The Gate, American Psycho. Those are all classics. And I'm glad that you put American Psycho, Logan G, because I consider American Psycho a horror movie, or at least a horror comedy movie. It's kind of parodying the yuppie lifestyle, but the writer actually said it was a horror movie, but I've had people debate with me and say that it's not a horror, and those people are crazy, in my opinion. But I mean, he's slashing people, killing people, the chainsaw, hookers, and I freaking love that movie. Christian Bale was made to play Patrick Bateman, perfect for that role. The Stuff, I love The Stuff. Larry Cohen, right? Yeah, he's made some really good films too. Yeah, I consider it definitely a horror movie, but horror comedy. That's like all time classic for me. That would be on my probably my top 20 all time favorite movies. I've seen that one a bunch. What is it? Don't just stare at it, eat it. Love it. I'm trying to. I know I've missed. Forgive me if I've missed comments on here. I know I missed Steven Costero. Saw The Strangers Pray at Night. It was terrible, but it's definitely a movie you should go drunk and watch. I'm not a big fan of the first Strangers movie. There's a movie called Them, which is a French movie, which I think is much better, very similar, but that's one that I think the Strangers kind of copied. But I don't know. I'm going to probably check it out just because, to me, it looked more like The Purge, the second Purge movie. Was it Purge Anarchy? Whatever the second one was, I forget now. But that's what it kind of looked like to me, and I like that one. That's like my favorite of the Purge movies, the second one. Media pro lover, what's up? What are your thoughts on Dracula Prince of Darkness? I liked it. It's been a while since I've seen it, actually, but I remember enjoying it. Scrolling through, wish upon. Okay, okay, good. Logan G, the Happy Death Day comment. Yeah, all right. I think I'm good now. I think I've gotten most of the comments. IMDb is not a reliable source. Example: Legion is a really great movie, but has a low score in IMDb. Thank you. I like IMDb better than Rotten Tomatoes. I think Rotten Tomatoes is a terrible movie rating site. Usually it's too far left or right. It's like a 20% or 90%. Like it I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't really feel that my opinions mess with their ratings. I feel like I'm more with IMDb's ratings, but there's obviously exceptions to the rule. Definitely check out The Stuff. It's cheesy though, but cheesy in a good way. Yeah, Society. I was not a huge fan of Society. I feel like Society, the only reason to watch that movie is for the climax with the crazy orgy scene and like the butthole face. That's really the only reason to watch that movie, because the lead actor was friggin' terrible. He was like soap opera acting, and it's a battle of attrition to sit through it to get to that point, because it's really all about the climax. Shaun the Dead is definitely awesome. You're Next. I actually love You're Next. Agree with that one. For sure. I don't know if it's not my favorite home invasion movie, but it's probably the best recent home invasion movie. What's up, Trasher One? Yes, Them Ills, exactly, Pedrex. That's the one I'm talking about. I love that one. Did you say you were a Cubs fan, by the way? I think you did, because I'm a big Cubs fan myself. First time on stream, Sniper King. Well, thank you for tuning in. Well, you gotta go already. Well, thank you for tuning in anyways. Sorry I didn't see your comment till right then. What's your top 5 movies that you would like to see get a Blu-ray release? I would have to say True Lies would be on there. The Beach would be on there. Harlem Nights, 8mm. I'm just trying to think of ones. I actually have a list somewhere. I was trying to think of before, but 8mm is one that I would like to see get a Blu-ray release. Again, True Lies, The Beach. I don't know. I have a list somewhere. I was going to make a video topic for that. And there's still Freaks would be another one. I did a top 10 horror movies that need a Blu-ray release last year, and now I think like at least 3 of those ones have a Blu-ray release already. But there's still a bunch that need Blu-ray releases. Later, Music Movie Man, what's up? I have not seen Wonder, but it looks like this generation's The Mask with Cher and Eric Stoltz. Indie Phantom, what's up? Yeah, I feel like IMDb is definitely more balanced for sure. I'm glad I'm not alone. I feel like I'm usually alone when I say that, because everybody loves Rotten Tomatoes. In fact, Rotten Tomatoes has gotten so popular, they have like the logos on actual Blu-ray cases and slipcovers, not even stickers, just actually printed on the artwork, and I hate that. What is my favorite home invasion movie? I really liked, I'd probably say Inside, the French film Inside. I freaking love that movie. It's one of the bloodiest movies out there. Palpable, intense. I know they recently did an American remake. Haven't seen that one yet. but I have to go with Inside. I also think Them, Ills. I'm not sure if it's actually Ills, but it's Them. It's a French film. Again, French are killing it. But those would probably be my top two right there. There's a ton of other great ones out there. Vince Vaughn's character in Cell Block 99 seems like Michael Myers' lost brother. Yeah, I like Cell Block 90, A Brawl in Cell Block 99, but it was a little bit unrealistic with Vince Vaughn just essentially making it so easy to like break people's arms and stuff. He walks around too stiff to be that athletic and be that powerful. I just couldn't get past some of that, but I still thought it was a really good, dark, gritty movie, and I appreciated it. And I think he's he's done some really good movies recently too. I liked his oh man, what is the recent war movie that he did that I freaking love the heck out of? And I can't think of the name of it right now. But he was the general, the captain in that one. Was directed by Mel Gibson. But that one right there that I can't think of the name of it, I freaking love it. Hacksaw Ridge, thank you. But yeah, he was really good there. But I think a lot of people underplay his comedic roles. He does fantastic jobs in those roles. People are saying, Cell Block 99 is his best acting performance. Don't underplay his comedic roles, because that takes a lot to do. And he plays those roles very convincingly. But I definitely enjoyed his performance in Cell Block 90, Brawl in Cell Block 99. Graveyard Shift is one that I don't believe has a Blu-ray release. In fact, I have the old VHS for that one. But I love the heck out of it. True Lies, yes. That could be possibly true, Indie Phantom. Yes, it's funny that you say that, because I've been watching a lot of older movies recently, and the political incorrectness that you could get away with back then, you just can't get away with now. I watched a movie called Eric the Viking, which has Tim Robbins in it and a few other people, but the very first scene was something you just definitely couldn't get away with doing today, in this day and age. Basically, he was set in the Viking age, and the very first scene caught me off guard. I was like, my immediate thought was like, you can never do that now in this climate of political correctness. The Cell is an amazing movie for sure. I love that one. Just visually appealing and very aesthetically moving. I don't know if I would consider The Cell underrated personally. Cigarette Burns. I thought it was a very popular movie. At least it was when it came out. That had Vince Vaughn in it too, and J-Lo. I personally don't consider The Cell underrated. I think it's a fantastic film, though. But I think that's more opinion based, I guess, on that one. But certain ones, I just feel like you can't say that the original Maniac or Sleepaway Camp or Suspiria or Candyman. I just don't think you could reasonably say those are underrated horror movies, because those are all super popular. Maximum Overdrive, that actually has, I think, an Italian Blu-ray release that's region-free. But that definitely deserves a region American release too, though, which will probably be possibly better picture quality, hopefully. Yeah, High Tension, I don't know if I would consider, I guess kind of a little bit. But yeah, High Tension, I love that movie, but I thought the ending was a bit of a cop-out. The Guest, yes, Max and Jackson, I friggin' love The Guest. And the girl in there, friggin' stunning. She reminds me of a younger Gwen Stefani. I love that film. Whatever happened to those VHS anthology movies? Which ones are you talking about? I'm not sure. But there used to be a lot of really good horror anthology. Actually, there was kind of a wave of horror anthology with ABCs of Death, the VHS ones. Is that what maybe that's what you're talking about? Actually, probably the VHS movies that came out recently in the past like 5 years or so, I guess. And I actually liked all of those ones that came out, even though it was kind of a mixed bag with some of the segments. But it was creativity and imagination. I am going to Candyman is absolutely an amazing film, but it's not underrated. It's like one of the more popular horror movies ever. All right, I'm going up the stairs, so I'm turning that light on. I'm trying to be fiscally responsible here. So going up the stairs here. Let there be light, more light. And then it's basically I'm gonna show you the room tour too. I have sold some more movies and stuff, but it's like a constant battle. I get movies in, movies go out. But I'm going to show you the collection overview. Yes. Bang. Well, I guess let me turn on the other light over here too. You can get a better idea. But this is all the horror DVDs, and those are all horror bootlegs that didn't have Blu-ray releases. Some of them do, but I just kept them because, you know, I've watched those bootlegs for years. Like, both TerrorVision and the Video Dead deserve standalone releases, but they have a dual pack from Scream Factory, and then Blood Diner has a release. But I watched all those so many times, I just kept it. Blood Beach deserves a Blu-ray release for sure. I love the heck out of that one. But yeah, this is all my horror DVDs. I've actually cut this by like 3 times. I had like a couple bookcases worth of just horror DVDs, but I've cut them down to movies. Again, I just want to keep movies in my collection that I see myself rewatching. Blue Chips deserves a Blu-ray release. SLC Punk deserves a Blu-ray release. There's a ton. But yeah, this is so I've got the bookcases here. I've got 9 total bookcases. They're all 6.5 feet tall. They're from IKEA, and they're the thick, wide ones right there. And then here's the Blu-rays. And I actually got rid of a bunch of 4K titles like Inferno, Why Him, The Snow White and the Huntsman, like a bunch of those ones that I'm just like, why do I even have these? I don't think I'm going to see myself rewatching them. So, and I still might cut out a few more, like Ghostbusters I'm debating about, the recent one, Warcraft I'm debating about. So yeah, I might get rid of some more, but I'm going to organize this all and do a complete collection overview. And yeah, here's a whole bunch of stuff down there. And then I'll go ahead and show you the rest of the collection. And this is a whole pile of stuff that I'm going to end up selling, getting rid of, like Murder in the Orient Express. I don't know. I've got a bunch of different Goodbye Christopher Robin. So, I don't know. It's funny. This one right here, I ended up getting at a flea market a couple years ago, and I had it and I never watched it. I just recently watched it, and super cheese. Holy moly. 3 O'Clock High, I need to get the Blu-ray release for that one. I love the heck out of that. But we've got the rest of the collection in here, all the bust sets, and all those Criterions, Twilight Time, whole bunch of Twilight Time Disney, and then obstructed from view are Blu-ray TV shows and seasons, and then Steelbooks, Digibooks, Arrow Video. I have a ton of Arrow Video in the room. And here's some more Criterions over there, some horror Blu-rays, and then some more Twilight Time. And then here's the horror Blu-ray collection right here, and then some over there, and then some collectibles and stuff, some signed Funkos, some box sets, and I've got the Singing in the Rain box set, which I got to get from At That Corner. And here's some comic books. I recently sold a bunch of comic books. I have that box and then that box still. I consolidated and ended up getting rid of one of the small boxes. I'm going to keep some. I'm trying to cut down the ones that I'm going to keep myself because I haven't looked at these comics in like 15 years, but some of them have memories for me. Like as soon as I saw them, I can remember the storylines, the artwork, all of it. So I'm going to try to thin down the ones I'm going to keep, but the ones I have out right now are the ones I'm thinking about keeping. And then the ones in the boxes I'm going to sell. I got a bunch of people interested and made me offers and stuff, so I have to work that out. Some people have kind of disappeared while other people are still sending me offers. So just trying to work that out. And scrolling through, does anybody know when the Candyman gets an American release? And no, all I know it has the UK release. Yeah. So the votes are in. The new Ghostbusters movie and Warcraft have to go on the 4K. Yeah, I hope, it's funny because the sequel, Candyman sequel on there has, was it Farewell to the Flesh, I think, has a Blu-ray release from Scream Factory. They did the same thing with Phantasm 2. That had a Blu-ray release before Well Go USA did the box set. So hopefully maybe there'll be kind of something like a combination set for Candyman as well. Campfire Tales. I watched that again recently, and it wasn't quite as good as I remember it. And then what was the one where it had Donkey Lips in it, too? I watched that again recently, too. I remember loving that as a kid, and watching it now, it just doesn't hold up to my memory of it. The Willies. The Willies also had the kid from the Goonies in there, too, Sean Astin. But I love that as a kid, and watching it, I watched it last year, I was like, oh, this is rough to sit through. 80s anthology movies are far better than the actual nostalgia, cheesy good times. Yeah, absolutely. I do plan to do a 24-hour movie marathon, so that might be coming up Probably not for another month or so at least. But yeah, I liked Campfire Tales. It just wasn't as good as I remember it being. Same thing with the Willies. I do not have the guest steelbook release, but I just have the Blu-ray release for it. Candyman, absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Donkey Lips. He's actually, it's funny because he has his own YouTube channel. I see him a lot with, at least I used to see him with Wet Movie 1. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've seen him in a Wet Movie 1 video in a while. What's up with that, Donkey Lips? I'm sorry, I don't remember what your actual name is. I know you've been in a bunch of other stuff, but you're always going to be Donkey Lips to me. But, a classic right there. Does he still hang out with him? I feel like I haven't seen him in a video in a while. I just watched The Descent, and I friggin' love The Descent. That's an amazing UK film. I think the same director did Dog Soldiers as well. With Dog Soldiers is probably my second favorite werewolf movie now. Few dated CGI shots and green screen that sticks out. Really? You're picky. I feel like The Descent to me is one of the better I don't know, what is it, like over a decade ago now, right? But I love the heck out of it. Haven't seen Scanners, Nightmares, The Void. Void was one of my favorite movies of last year. I think it might be my favorite movie of last year. Again, horror-centric stuff. Manhunter, oh, it's a friggin' classic. Video Dead is cheesy, but I love the heck out of it. Scanners is great. Nightmares to me was one of those ones I loved as a kid, especially the Emilio Estevez segment. Freaking loved it. Watching it now, it's one of those ones where it kind of breaks my heart because it's not as good as I remember it to be. My first favorite werewolf movie is, come on, one guess. What do you think my favorite werewolf movie of all time is? Come on, give me some comments here, people. Give me some comments. What do you think? My favorite werewolf movie. I feel like it's the most popular werewolf movie. American Werewolf in London. Yes, there you go, Maxa Jackson. Cheers. Exactly. I feel like if you grew up as a kid watching horror movies, that was like the main one that you were exposed to. Silver Bullet too. I love that one. I like American Werewolf in Paris. I know a lot of people hate it, but I really enjoy the heck out of it. Nowhere near as good as the original American Werewolf in London, but still decent for me. But Dog Soldiers is number 2. Silver Bullet probably be number 3. Late Phases was pretty decent. That was the one that came out a couple of years ago. Indie Phantom says I want to do a 20. Yeah, I always mean to, and I never get through. I actually started one a couple times, and then things got in the way. I ended up getting caught up with other stuff. So I've actually filmed parts of a 24-hour movie marathon and got maybe halfway through and just kind of gave up on it. But I definitely want to end up doing that. I know Ryan Chataway on here, who's friggin' awesome. He always he was like the real originator on here doing it, and then Razor Wire Reviews, he's done a bunch too, and I like that too. Razor Wire Reviews, he does a lot of stuff for silent era stuff, and there was a period where I was checking out a lot of silent era stuff, and he's really well versed in that. So if you're into that, definitely check out his channel. The Howling is, I like The Howling as well. The sequels though, not so much. Scrolling with the homies. Yeah. Just scrolling through the comments right now. I'm about to watch a Netflix Spanish movie called Veronica. I've heard everybody talk about Veronica. Thank you for tuning in, Pedrex. It's always good to see you on here. Cheers, my friend. Was it I can't remember, was it Bolivia or Portugal? I forget. One of those ones, I'm pretty sure though. But I always appreciate when you tune in. It's like seeing it, a lot of these people that, you guys tune in, it's like a familiar face. I feel like, when I don't see you, I'm a little, where is so-and-so? Are they okay? I hope they're not sick. That's what I think about when I don't see you guys on these live streams. Thanks, I'm trying. And I'm drinking, Bolivia. See, I did get it right the first time. All right. I'm drinking a Voodoo Ranger Imperial IPA from New Belgium. Pretty tasty. I would definitely recommend it if you're into IPAs, Imperial IPAs. Alright, just scrolling through here. Favorite vampire movie? That is tough. I love Fright Night. I'm gonna have to go with 30 Days of Night. That has become my all-time favorite vampire movie. One of my all-time favorite movies, and overall, I friggin' love, again, snowy setting. And those vampires were just creepy in their language. And Ben Foster as the stranger, I loved him in there. He's such an underrated actor. But yeah, 30 Days of Night, snowy setting. The vampires were creepy as heck. Great sense of isolation, paranoia again. Just when they're hiding and who they can trust, and I friggin' love that movie. Like the grittiness of the vampires, and I love the ending that they didn't cop out too. I actually have I have two posters for 30 Days of Night. I'm actually going to do a video asking your opinion of which one I should essentially frame up, because I sent one to the store that was doing a signing for, like, the director was going to be there and a couple other people involved with the film. I think maybe the writer and then one of the actors. And I sent a poster in. I was trying to get the post, like a really good poster art, because I didn't love the theatrical poster where it's all red and the vampire screaming. I just thought that looked terrible. So I got one for like the DVD release, but at the bottom it says like DVD, PSP, and I kind of hated that part at the bottom. And the store, for whatever reason, like I sent it in to them, mailed it to them, and they, for whatever reason, like, hey, are you sure you want this one signed? Because we've got the theatrical one, and we think that one looks better, basically is what they were saying. So they sent me both. They got both of them signed and sent it to me, which I thought was really cool. To get those posters signed, you had to buy the album for the vinyl soundtrack that they were doing, which I was cool with, because again, I'm a big fan of the film. So I got the vinyl soundtrack and then two posters signed up for free, essentially. So I was definitely super with that. I just thought it was funny that they like called me on the phone about like, are you sure you want to get that one and not the theatrical poster signed? But yeah, 30 Days of Night is one of my my all-time favorite vampire movie, and is one of my all-time favorite movies overall. Fright Night would be up there for me too. I like Lost Boys. That's another one. But yeah, what are your guys' favorites for vampire films? There's a whole bunch out there. Lost Boys for sure. Let the Right One In. That is a great call. For me, that's a transcendent movie. The remake, Let Me In, wasn't a bad movie. I just felt like it was unnecessary. But Let the Right One In, the original, is a transcendent film. It transcends genres. To me, it's an all-time classic. That would probably be at least in my top 50 all-time favorite movies as well. Love that film. That was actually an early review for me on my old channel. That was, looking back, and I was like, that review was a little rough, but I have not seen Santa Clarita Diet, but I think that's coming back, I guess, for another season. I've heard good things about that, though. Martin, I actually am not a fan of Martin. I think that's a movie that deserves to be remade. I think that could be done a little bit better now. One of the things I hated about Martin was the ending, where that final shot, it just looked too fake to me. But I know Martin gets a lot of praise, and you know, it has a big fan base. So, is that a vampire or succubus? And which one, Martin or Let the Right One In? Well, they're both vampires, right? Yeah. Oh, you know what? What We Do in the Shadows was hilarious. That was a really fun comedic one, for sure. It was basically like Real World meets vampires, and there's werewolves and stuff in there too. But that was a good one for sure. Cheers, Pedrex. Good night, my friend, and let me know how Veronica is as well. I definitely want to check that one out. And I did watch what was the one recently everybody was raving about on Netflix? The Ritual. I watched The Ritual recently, and I thought that was pretty decent. The look to the creature at the end was kind of weird, but unique at the same time, so mixed feelings on it. It was one of those things where there's that dramatic music, and they're looking at trees, and they're looking at the sky, dramatic music. So a little bit of that was too much, but overall I thought it was a decent film. Let the Right One In. I know Let the Right One In was a vampire film. And there's certain things I kind of don't want to give away certain things about it, but yeah, it's a fantastic film though. I would highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. What's the environmental that had a great snowy setting? The Last Winter, Larry. Is that the one you're thinking of? The Last Winter, which I have over here, and I enjoy the heck out of that one. In fact, The Last Winter reminds me a little bit of The Ritual, as far as what the thing at the end looks like. You're talking about this one right here, Larry Fessenden. I actually love the heck out of that one. Again, I love horror movies with the snowy setting, so I'm a fan, obviously, of that one. Bad Ronald I consider to be underrated. You know what? Here's another good vampire movie, Thirst. from the director of Old Boy. That one I feel like doesn't get enough love. Here's a nice signed up George A. Romero and Adrienne Barbeau, Two Evil Eyes. I love their segment. Argento's the black cat kind of segment, I was not a big fan of, but I love the facts in the case of Mr. Valdemar. That whole segment was awesome. I freaking love it too. So when I was able to get that signed up, I was super excited. I got that from another collector, and I'm kind of, picky about when I buy autographs from other collectors, but he actually had the photographs of the sign. You can see exactly where they signed. So I thought that was really cool, and I got it for a great deal. And it's funny because I got it from him on eBay. He was selling like a bunch of his collection. I'm not sure if what the reason was, but the fact that he had the pictures is why I bought it. But then when I bought it from him, he messaged me on Facebook because I had sold him a bunch of movies in the past. So that's kind of cool. The whole kind of collector world right there coming together. I seen Behind the Mask on your shelf. Love that movie. Yeah, it's getting. Did the Blu-ray already come out for? Or maybe it's coming out in like a week or two for Scream Factory. But I actually love this slipcover too for it. The kind of opens up like that. But yeah, absolutely. That. I felt like for a while that was underrated, but then it became more popular. But yeah, again, this is the horror DVD collection, so it's a little bit, I've cut it down a lot. And here's some ones that I consider underrated: Mutants, Shadow, which is an Italian horror movie. I love the heck out of that one, kind of psychological horror. But Mutants is a French infected movie, which I love, and it has a snowy setting, and I talk about it endlessly. And yeah, I feel like still people haven't checked it out enough. But again, the majority of my horror movies are on Blu-ray, and that is in the other room. Good night, Logan G. Thank you for tuning in, and again, for commenting as well. I always look forward to your comments, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, and here's the majority of my horror movie collection right here on Blu-ray, and some right there, and then I have some down there, and then some over here. I wanted to do an update, which is why I have stuff kind of like strewn about, really. When's the Behind the Mask sequel coming? I don't know. I've heard talks about that for like a long time. My hair is disheveled right now. Sorry about that. I've not seen Manboard, but I heard it was cheese-tastic. Yeah, that has the slipcover for that is super sweet. Thirst. Yes, Mr. Snowy Setting. Absolutely. Well, we're getting 12 to 16 inches of snow from, I guess, Wednesday into Thursday. So, sheesh, I am not looking for... I ordered pizza, and I freaking killed it, because today was such a freaking busy day for me. So I just fucking... Excuse my language. I tried never to curse. That one slipped out. My apologies. But I just freaking ordered some pizza. I killed some pizza, had some cannolis. I was just like, oh... And then just kind of zoned out watching some guilty pleasure TMZ, which is the one thing I feel terrible about. It's celebrity gossip stuff, and the people that they have on there are just vapid. But for whatever reason, I get sucked into it. So yeah, I ate some pizza and cannolis, and I'm gonna eat the rest of the pizza tomorrow and just basically stay in. I really don't want to friggin'. Last time when I shoveled, it was like you shoveled, and then like an hour later, it looked like you didn't even shovel. So it was like continuous shoveling. It's that thick, heavy snow breaking your back. And I know last time I felt bad, so my roommate and I, we shoveled 5 driveways. Some of the people in our neighborhood, like elderly neighbor and a couple women, and I felt good doing that, but my back was freaking killing me the next day. I needed like a whole day of recovery for that. This was great, but it's time for me to go. Thank you, Spencer Sinclair. I appreciate it. It hasn't snowed here since the 1960s. Where are you from again, Max Jackson? Let me know. What is one obscure horror movie you would recommend? Well, I just mentioned Mutants, which is a French infected movie that I always recommend. Another one that I always recommend is Bedeviled, which is an Asian... it's a horror movie. It's a revenge horror movie, but it's borders on the thriller, but I friggin' love that movie. So I would definitely recommend Bedeviled and Mutants. Well, of course, you're over there. But, I've heard of so many different areas that never got snow that are suddenly getting snow in the past couple of years. Climate change, it's friggin' real. But I've watched I feel like as far as climate change, I feel like there's as much as that we can do now or try to do. I feel like it's too late. We're screwed. Heading to work. Indie Phantom. Well, thank you for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. I know you've commented recently on some of my videos, and I appreciate that big time. So it's good to see. That's what I like. You know, when I see people that I see regularly active, I think it's really cool. Kind of you build up a rapport, and I look forward to talking to these people. And I think it's awesome to have this platform. I've talked to people all across the globe, Bolivia, Ireland. You know, it's UK. I love it. So again, let me ask you. I think a few people commented on it. What should I binge watch? Which I'm probably gonna do tomorrow. 13 Reasons, which I have somewhere over here. See if I can find where the heck I put it. I know I have it over here somewhere, and it's gonna bother me that I can't find it. Oh, here it is, right here. 13 Reasons Why. Should I watch 13 Reasons Why? Or should I watch Jessica Jones Season 2? That's what I'm probably going to binge tomorrow. One of those two. 13 Reasons Why or Jessica Jones Season 2. Let me know. Leave me some comments. I'm debating. I've never seen 13 Reasons Why, but apparently it was voted one of the more influential pop whatever things of last year, 2017, or pop culture references or pop culture phenomena. Bedeviled is great. I'm glad. Well, Bedeviled, the Asian movie. There's another Bedeviled movie that came out, I think, last year, too. Yeah, exactly, Max Jackson. You beat me to it on that. Why does 13 Reasons... I know, I said the same thing, Monkecker. I wish that it had a Blu-ray release. I don't know why it doesn't. It's released through Paramount, and it's a Netflix one. So, I don't know. I wish it had a Blu-ray release for sure. And as popular as it is, because I heard everybody like raving about it. Everybody was posting about it on Facebook. I was shocked it didn't get a Blu-ray release. It's not. I don't think it's out yet. I think it might be out in like another 2 weeks. It's a review copy sent to me from Paramount. Rad movie guy. But it's DVD only. 13 Reasons Why wasn't that great to me. I feel like you're the first person who said that, but I take that into consideration. Hazardous Life. I loved Jessica Jones. I was surprised that I liked it. I put off watching it for a long time. I wasn't sure I was going to like it. I wasn't a huge fan of the lead actress, but she was phenomenal in that to me. She was in this one TV show that was like really like crude humor, and I just thought it was awful. I have not watched Iron Fist. I've only seen a few clips of it, but I heard not good things about it. But I think it's 2 weeks for... I'll have to double check on it for 13 Reasons Why. It's funny, I got rid of a ton of special collector's editions, sets, and stuff like that just because I had so many different editions. And I actually kind of regret getting rid of the old Phantasm Sphere on DVD. It was from the UK, and it came in an actual sphere where you took off the top part of it, and then the discs were like in a foam inlay inside the sphere. The Arrow UK one for the sphere was like a smaller sphere, and it didn't display the discs inside. So I was kind of disappointed in their one. And I kind of regret getting rid of the Phantasm set from the DVD one from the UK from years ago. And those ones, it used to be really expensive. It's probably not as expensive now, so maybe one day I'll rebuy it. But certain sets I got rid of, and now I kind of like regret getting rid of them. Like I had the Carriers 10, which is like a German edition. And I had all these different special edition sets that I ended up getting rid of. Pedrex, I thought you were going to go watch Veronica. Going to watch Veronica tomorrow because it's kind of long. How long is it? I do want to check that one out myself. What are your thoughts on the new June Criterion Collection announcements? Oh man, I didn't even look at the email. I got the email announcement. I think what's the John? I know the John Waters film was announced, and I can't remember what else was announced. So let me know what was. Looking for good murder mystery movies for my collection. Any suggestions? Blu-ray only. I'll have to think of. Oh, you know what? I don't really consider your Blu-ray only. I was gonna say there's a DVD one, the Uninvited Guest, but I'll have to think about that one and get back to you. I recently watched the new version of Murder on the Orient Express, which I was not a big fan of at all. I liked the mustache. That was really about it. But was it 74 Sidney Lumet one? Sidney Lumet with Ingrid Bergman, Sean Connery, was Lauren Bacall, Anthony Perkins, that whole cast. I thought that was really the best one. Ah, yes, good call. Good call indeed. I feel like that used to be. I don't know. I think I consider that a. I guess you have to be a real big film fan to appreciate it because it does have a Criterion release, right? 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 Is that the one? I know Criterion is just, for me, killing it. What year was this? 88? Is this the one? I feel like there was another one, too. There's like two that I always get confused of. Yes, alright, because there's another one, I feel like, was this remade in America? I feel like I'm getting confused with another one, too. Like, I always got... Was it remade, Max Jackson? Let me know if you're aware. June Criterion releases are Bowling for Columbine. I am shocked by that, in fact. Virgin Spring, I think, yeah, I feel like a lot of people were wanting that one for a while. Female Trouble, there you go, the John Waters. I'm not familiar with Manila and the Claws of Light. El Sur, interesting. I'm really surprised by Bowling for Columbine, in fact. Just got Taking Lives with Angelina Jolie. I have seen it. I enjoyed it. It's been a while since I've seen it, though. Yes, the American one with Jeff Bridges. Thank you. Max Jackson coming through in the clutch. David Loomis, what's going on? First day of spring. Yeah, right. It's snowing outside. Yeah, same here. We've had like some freezing rain essentially for the majority of the day, and then now we're supposed to get 12 to 16 inches of snow. Sheesh. Yeah, wow. You gotta wake up early over there, man. Stealthy Collection, thank you. Yeah, it's funny. I actually just had a conversation with this about this with somebody recently too. I love movies with subtitles. Some of the best movies I've seen were international films, and it's crazy to me that so many people won't watch a movie because it has subtitles. My whole thing is, and I always say this to people, it's like, if you can read, you can watch a movie with subtitles. And I feel like the more that you watch it, the easier it is to retain. So yeah, I don't know. But so many great films, international films that have been... Criterion Collection was one of those... I remember I was an assistant manager trainee in Sam Goody forever ago. That was like the first time I came across Criterion Collection. I really wasn't aware of what exactly it was, but people used to refer to it as Film School in a Box. But back in the day, they released The Rock, Armageddon, things like that weren't necessarily, I would say, up to par to what they're known for, really. Occasionally, they'll let ones in that I feel like might not really should deserve it. Scariest horror movies are from Asia, no contest. They definitely have some creep-tastic films for sure. Jellyfish Eyes I have not seen. I feel like I really haven't heard too much about that one, in fact. In Virginia. Where in Virginia you're from? Because I used to live in Norfolk for years. David Loomis. Thanks for keeping it real. In effect. Rex in effect. Why does True Lies... Yeah, I mentioned that earlier, actually. People were asking me what movies deserve a Blu-ray release. True Lies and The Beach are really up there high for me. Higher Learning is another that just popped into my head. 8mm, Harlem Nights. I don't know. There's a bunch of really good ones that I think SLC Punk still deserves. But yeah, True Lies is like one of the top ones for me, sure. Freaks. That's another one. I did my top 10 horror movies that need a Blu-ray release, and Freaks was on that one. I did that last year, and I feel like at least 3 of those have Blu-ray releases now. I know Rawhead Rex, Poughkeepsie Tapes. Although Poughkeepsie Tapes, they actually change like the first scene, and I think a couple other little scenes too. Like they're out of sequence, I think. From the old bootleg that I had. I really like Jellyfish Eyes, kind of like a live-action Pokemon movie. Then I don't know if I would like that. I was never really into Pokemon. Wow, 15. That is low for a Criterion. Yes! Wait. Max Jackson. Let me just double check to make sure we're thinking about the same movie, because I have it over here if we're talking about it. Because I thought that was a 2016 movie, if it's the one that I'm thinking of. Are we talking about this movie, Max Jackson? Because I thought it was 2016, and it was one of my favorite movies of that year. I could have sworn it was 2016, but I love the heck out of that movie, and I consider that super underrated. And it was one of my favorite movies of that year, whatever year it came out. I thought it was 2016, but I could. Maybe you're right. Maybe it was 2015. I don't know. I'll have to double check on that one. But love the heck out of that one. If that's the one that you're talking about, and if you're not talking about that one, everybody should check out. Remember, underrated film, and a great performance too. It's funny. I watched a movie recently with Christopher Plummer. I can't remember what the heck it was now. It was when he was younger. Oh, you know what it was? He wasn't too young. It was Dreamscape. Which, that was a film that I really enjoy as well. You should watch a movie the way it was intended. I Hate It Here in My Country because it's... Oh, dubs. Oh, alright. If you want to watch in the original form, you gotta catch the last screening. We are on the same page, Jay. Good. But is it 2015? I could have sworn it was 16, but you could be right. But either way, I'm glad somebody else is talking about that film because I feel like that is friggin' super underrated. I love that movie. The ending, oh my gosh. Friggin' loved it. That had some really tense, palpable scenes in there, too. Poughkeepsie Tapes, yes. For the longest time, I always considered Poughkeepsie Tapes underrated. Now I don't know if I can consider it underrated because of the Scream Factory release. I feel like so many people picked it up because they heard so many people talk about it. Scrolling through, somebody mentioned Nixon, and I wanted to point out this movie that I never hear anybody talk about. If I can find out where the heck I have it, I need to organize everything essentially. Probably not even going to be able to find where the heck it is. But Secret Honor. Here we go. Secret Honor is such an amazing take. It's a Robert Altman film. It's Philip Baker Hall, and there's kind of doing where he's sequestered and as Nixon, and it's just him the whole time, and it's just amazing. The performance that he puts on is just incredible. There's a scene where he gets where he's like, essentially there's like some spittle, and it's just so raw that scene with his little bit of spittle that he has just sticks out in my mind. The same thing with Sid and Nancy. There's a scene with Gary Oldman, and it's like the snot is drooling out. It's just gross, but it's real. It's raw, and that's something that I really it adds believability factor for the role in performance. Excuse me. But yeah, so I it doesn't look like it, but I've cleared out a lot of movies. You can see some of the gaps and stuff because I still have some stuff on the floors, and this is all stuff that I want to get rid of and sell or trade or whatever. Big Little Lies is coming back for season 2, and I was actually really surprised on that one too. Megan's Missing, I didn't really enjoy Megan's Missing. Sorry, that one we disagree upon, but I know it does have a big following. To me, everybody was talking about how disturbing that movie was. I didn't find it disturbing at all. I thought the acting was horrific, terrible. But to me, I feel like if you watch the news is more disturbing because every single day there's something more disturbing than that in there. But I know a lot of people like Megan is Missing. I'm actually surprised that doesn't have a Blu-ray release considering that it is so popular. Poughkeepsie Tapes has a recent Blu-ray release, but yeah. Megan is Missing. Yes, exactly. David Loomis, I'm with you. I'm sorry. Pedrex. I know a lot of people do like Megan is Missing. I remember hearing about that years ago, and people were raving about it. I watched it. I was so disappointed. I thought it was below average for me. I did not care for it. Which ending do you prefer for The Descent? I meant to ask earlier. There is the two different. I like the ending that they actually went with. And speaking of which, did you see The Descent 2? Because I like The Descent 2, but it was way too derivative of the first Descent movie. It was just like the same friggin' as the first one, essentially. Except there was one scene where one of those creatures takes like a dump in the bloodbath thing, which I thought was pretty funny. And I was looking to see, because I thought I kept The Descent for on DVD because it had a slipcover. I know I have it on Blu-ray, but for some reason I thought maybe I got rid of it. There were some ones that I were keeping for the slipcover because I was like, oh, why not? I did. Here it is. I did keep it for the slipcover. Because otherwise, if I sell it on DVD, even though I have the Blu-ray, I'm gonna get a couple bucks for it or something like that. Maybe $3 to $5. It's I might as well just keep it for that. And I did watch it a lot on DVD. So there's a few ones where I will keep the DVD release, even though I have the Blu-ray release. I have the Blu-ray for the original My Bloody Valentine, but I kept the DVD for it. And the Blu-ray for that goes for redonkulous money. Here's one that I thought was considered underrated. All Hallows Eve. Art the Clown, the scariest clown in horror movie history, in my opinion. And it's a horror anthology movie set on Halloween. And the director has a new movie coming out called Terrifier. and you can actually order that Blu-ray on, I think Dread Central is doing it, and I definitely plan on picking that up. And I like this one too. I never heard anybody talk about this one, Blackwater Vampire. It's a found footage vampire movie, very much like Blair Witch Project, except it actually shows you something at the end, and the characters weren't insufferable. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Blair Witch Project, but Blackwater Vampire was clearly influenced by it. It's a vampire take, and it's more satisfying to me, at least. I didn't watch Jeepers Creepers on principle. I can understand that. I have mixed feelings on that whole subject. I think what he did is unforgivable, and I can't believe he actually had a chance to make movies after that, after he got out of jail. But I saw Jeepers Creepers before knowing about it, and for me, it's one of my favorite horror movies. I freaking love it. The sequel was okay. The second one, rather. The third one was garbage. Hot garbage. Should have just been called Jeepers Creepers 3, The Truck. But I understand your point of view. I feel like that's something that's unforgivable. There's certain acts like Michael Vick too. It's something that if you abuse animals or kids, unforgivable to me. People say that he served his time. I disagree. I don't want to get too worked up about it, but no. I was shocked that he got all these chances afterwards to continue making movies, but same thing with Roman Polanski. I mean, what he did, and he's made so many great films too. So it's hard for me to draw that line. One person, especially now with the past year, I feel like everything is being ruined. Kevin Spacey, there's a period where every week there was somebody else coming out and getting just taken down. And unfortunately, there's hundreds to thousands of people that are involved with making a film or TV show, and one person can ruin it for everybody. Like Bill Cosby, all the the syndicated episodes are pulled, and all the people that were getting the checks for that are no longer getting those checks. So it kind of sucks that one person ruins it for everybody. The Louis C.K. show too. I mean, it's rough. Yeah, Rosemary's Baby, to me, one of the greatest movies in horror movie history. Love it, classic. And it's rough. I can understand why people say they'll never watch one of the Jeepers Creepers movies or anything from Polanski. I understand that point of view, but for me, I have seen some of those movies, and they're incredible films. And it's a shame that they're made by these essentially monsters. Terrible, terrible people. It's hard to rationalize it. But yeah, it's unfortunate that one person can ruin a whole film or TV show when hundreds of thousands of people are a part of it. So Vic was part of my favorite football team, the Eagles. Eagles are the only team that I hate. Sorry, I'm a Redskins fan. But no, for me, I can't. For me, it's funny because I played high school football against Michael Vick and Marcus Vick way back in the day. In Virginia, and people will try to use the excuse, it's a different southern down, that way of life, they do dogfighting. BS, fucking bullcrap and a half. Sorry, I let out a couple curse words tonight. It was very unlike me. I usually don't curse at all on these videos and stuff, but no, that it just gets me riled up though. Anything with animals or kids, abusing them, throw away the key. I don't ever want to see those people again. I feel like the world would be a better place without those people in general. So no, I could never give Michael Vick a pass. I could never, nah. Yeah, I know. Congratulations on your Super Bowl win. I was freaking shocked. An amazing thing. I'll definitely, give it to you. My biggest issue though is Eagles fans, Philly fans in general. You guys had a jail cell under your stadium for a while because your fans are so insane. I mean, it's not, obviously it's not everybody, but I won't go to any games in Philly anymore. I can't. The fans are the worst fans, unfortunately. I remember even during when they played the Vikings, they were throwing full cans of beers at fans. Blows my mind. And then they had to grease the poles. And one of the fans when they won against the Vikings, they punched a police horse rather. The things that just blows my mind. I've never seen fans do the things that the Philly fans have, but. Lake Mungo, I did not appreciate. Everybody loved Lake Mungo. Again, if you like Blair Witch Project, you'll probably enjoy Lake Mungo. It was one of those after dark horror fest ones. Yeah, I'm the same with you, Max Ejection. I didn't like it either, or didn't like it as much. I didn't care for it at all. There's a part towards the end that I kind of liked, but people raved about that movie. Cannibal Holocaust, I know. There's a couple other movies too, like Mountain of the Cannibal God, which There's other movies where they have actual. I love old school cannibal movies, and there's a few different ones. Eaten Alive, I think, is one that has some in there. There's a few other ones that have. Is it Valley of? I can't remember if this one has some or not. Massacre in Dinosaur Valley. It might have some in there, but I'm pretty sure Eaten Alive does. Mountain of the Cannibal God, Cannibal Holocaust. A few of those ones they have real unfortunate animal deaths and stuff in there. So I love cannibal movies. So I don't like to see that stuff. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that, but I do like some of those movies. So I try to like block that out. Exactly. No, I agree with you, Rad Movie Guy. I completely get that. I love cannibal movies from the old school cannibal ones, but when they have those scenes in there, it's unnecessary. I get what they're trying to do with the gritty realism, and I'm completely against that. So I don't know. Again, it brings me back to Michael Vick. Michael Vick literally, he didn't just do dogfighting. He literally killed dogs with his own hands. I think a lot of people didn't realize that. I remember reading all about the case. He didn't go to jail for dogfighting. He went to jail for interstate gambling, which he went to Leavenworth. I actually lived in Leavenworth, Kansas, right by the jail, Fort Leavenworth. It was literally down the street from me. I remember when I was a kid living there, there was like a jailbreak, and I was freaking out. But then I realized, like, whoever broke out isn't going to want to stay locally. They want to get the heck out of Dodge. Yeah, Michael Vick ended up physically killing dogs with his own hands. Electrocution, drowning, beating, just disgusting, vile stuff that to me is unforgivable. And he got away with it essentially because he didn't pay his time for doing that. He went to jail for interstate gambling for the dogfighting ring, for the money that was done. No, I don't think he seems remorseful either. And I feel like a lot of people try to write off what he did as, oh, it's down south, that kind of thing is it happens. BS to that. Yeah, so those are a few things that I have to me that are kind of unforgivable. So I feel like it's celebrities do get in fact, like I said, TMZ is like one of my guilty pleasures, and I watched a TMZ episode recently, and they talked about this player who he was in the farm system of some team, some Major League Baseball team, and they showed him beating his girlfriend. Like he was at the stadium, and as soon as they hit the stairwell, he's just beating the crap out of her, and he essentially got a slap on the wrist. It should have been a felony. It should have been like a serious case. And that's another thing that blows my mind. They were engaged at the time, and she ended up marrying him after that fact. And it was clearly not a first-time thing because he wailed on her he came back and hit her several more times. But he ended up getting 3 months probation, or no, it was that he had to do some kind of anger management case. He had to do that, and then he had to make sure that he had no other arrests in like a 6-month time period, and he ended up not serving any jail time, and he ended up basically getting it expunged from his record. So to me, it just blows my mind. It was way worse than the Ray Rice case, which that blew me away because I went to Rutgers, and Ray Rice was the biggest thing in Rutgers, so that's a shame. Hey, Jeff Overing, how are you? I am looking forward to the new Halloween movie. I'm hoping for good things. It's from what I've seen, I've enjoyed it, so... I'm sorry that you've witnessed that kind of stuff. That's terrible. It's unfortunate. Oh, you saw that video too. Yeah, it's to see that it blows my mind because, what blows me away even more is these people. Even in the Ray Rice case, she was engaged at the time, and then they ended up getting married afterwards. And I just, it's a cycle, and I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I work at a grocery store, and my coworker yelled pancakes like the kid from Cabin Fever when we took a case of pancake mix. I didn't see the Cabin Fever remake. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Let me know if it's worth watching or not. I don't know. I feel like that was a really quick remake. I don't know why they did that. I haven't seen many cannibal movies. Can you list some of your favorite? Again, it depends what you want to see as far as... Actually, one that I enjoyed recently, I consider it kind of in that genre of cannibal, would be Bone Tomahawk. And even Green Inferno. I know a lot of people hated Green Inferno. It's the recent one. Eli Roth, but I enjoyed Green Inferno. But I like Mountain of the Cannibal Gods a lot, Eaten Alive, Cannibal Ferox, Cannibal Holocaust. Again, they have some violent scenes. They have real animal deaths in some of these ones. So there's cut versions of these out there. So if you want to get those and not see that, which is completely understandable, I don't want to see that either. But those are some of the ones that really stand out for me. Massacre in Dinosaur Valley I enjoyed too. Yeah, exactly. I don't understand how those girls could go back to that. I don't get it. Molly Bowers, how are you? Molly Bowers, I know you hit me up during Christmas time, and I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to get back to you. It was a really hectic time for me. I know you wanted to do the Christmas card exchange. My apologies for not getting back to you during that. I felt bad about that. I always meant to message you about it, but as time went by, it kind of slipped my mind, and then I was so busy during the holiday season. But thank you for that consideration. I appreciate that. Maybe next season we can do that, next Christmas. They remade it for the money, I believe. There's a lot of cash grabs, especially in horror. I feel like horror has become so trendy now in TV and movie-wise. Bone Tomahawk was amazing. The director of Bone Tomahawk did Brawl in Cell Block 99. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does next. Thoughts on the Wrong Turn series. I reviewed the last couple ones. I know there's another one coming out too. I kind of like those ones. They're not. Some of them are really bad, but there's a couple that are good. I love the first two especially. Those are my favorites by far. Having a beer too. What are you having? What are you drinking? Yeah, I feel the same way. They're a guilty pleasure for me. Excuse me. Rad Movie Guy, have you ever tried Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey? Yes, in fact, you can check out my review on Tennessee Honey on my channel on here. In fact, it might be one of my most viewed videos. I have a few alcohol reviews, which are some of my more popular videos on here. Like I did a Fireball review, which I think has like 60,000 views. Crystal Head Vodka, I think, has around 60,000. Tennessee Fire and Tennessee Honey, one of those ones has a good amount of views too. So I do plan on doing some of those reviews every now and then, throwing in an alcohol review, because people like to see that apparently. And I do like mixing it up. I like doing food reviews, alcohol, beer reviews, as well as movie reviews and stuff like that. And I want to do more movie reviews. It's actually easier to do beer reviews and stuff like that, because if I do it on my phone, I can edit it all on my phone. If I do a movie review, I can't put a picture in iMovie on my iPhone. Like I want to put the poster art, a picture of it into the video, and I don't know how to do that. I can't figure out a way how to do that on iMovie through my iPhone 7. But if there's a way to do that, I'll be pumping out reviews like all the time. But I just hate doing like editing. Scrolling through. Molly, what was the wow for? Whiskey for sure. I'm not a big wine guy. I haven't tried a ton of wines, but the ones I've tried, not too big on. Can't wait for Hold the Dark with Jeremy Saulnier. What is the other one what's the one coming out soon I really want to see, where they have to be quiet because there's things hunting them? I don't know why, it just kind of made me think of that. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it has the Jim from The Office on there. I heard Crystal Head Vodka kind of sucks. No way. Crystal Head Vodka is, for me, the best vodka out there. It's so clean. Dan Aykroyd just wants your money. No, that's whoever told you that is wrong. Try it for yourself. I think a lot of people thought that it was a gimmick because of the shape of the bottle. No, it is incredible vodka. My favorite vodka. I would take it over Belvedere. I would take it over Grey Goose. I loved it. I was super impressed by it. It's not just a novelty for the bottle. We were talking about underrated Murder Party. I've never seen Murder Party, but I do like the director about the reviews. What are you watching tonight? I'm going to finish up a movie that I started, and it's an older movie. It's called Fire with Fire, which has Craig Sheffer, Virginia Madsen, and D.B. Sweeney's in here too. So I started that, and I'm enjoying the heck out of it. It's from Olive. I bought this on eBay. Or is it? Maybe it's not from Olive. Is it? I thought it was an Olive. It is an Olive release. But it's at Paramount down there too. But I bought this on eBay like years ago, and I never ended up watching it. But Some Kind of Wonderful needs a Blu-ray release too. Craig Sheffer was in there. He gets slapped. And in fact, Elias Koteas, which used to be one of my favorite actors, he had a role in there in Some Kind of Wonderful as the character Duncan. I used to love that character growing up. All right, I can't stay on here too much longer. Coming up on 80 minutes because the low battery thing just jumped on here. So my apologies, guys. But I'm going to have to get it going now and charge my phone before it dies. And that's one of the things I love doing these live streams, but it feels like it was like 20 minutes when it's been 80 minutes. So that's one of the things I love, that instant interaction and how easily accessible it is now with the phone. And I'm so excited that the comments are finally going to come through. Like before, it used to be when you did a live stream, the comments would disappear after the live stream ended and the video got posted to YouTube. All the comments were gone. Now the comments are all going to be here, so I'm souped on that. But thank you guys for tuning in, and cheers to you guys. I plan on doing live streams a lot more often because they're a lot of fun. Again, that instant interaction, I freaking love it. But I'm going to finish watching Fire with Fire, and then I might start 13 Reasons Why or Jessica Jones Season 2. I haven't decided which on that yet. Good night. Thank you all for tuning in. Cheers. Pedrex, I'm sorry, man. I got to go. My phone's about to die. But watch Veronica and let me know how it is. Cheers, good night, and hope everybody's doing well. Stay warm. We're getting 12 to 60 inches of snow here in Jersey tomorrow. Ay, ay, ay. I'm going to stay in, eat pizza, drink some beers, and binge watch some TV tomorrow. Either 13 Reasons Why or Jessica Jones. Leave me comments down below. Let me know which one I should watch. Take care. How do I end this now? I don't even know. I don't remember how to end this thing. Oh, here it is.